Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. I had some audio issues the last time. I got that rectified, so hopefully we would have a good show with no audio trouble. So, again, this is the Black Critic, aka Kofi. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't hurt just to hit the like button and just to subscribe. Um, Today you see what the topic is about. Today is about the FBA party hate rally after party live face to face Twitter space. So yes, I'm going to be talking about the FBA rally and how it was I a failure and a success at the same time, as well as because I'm against the rally, but because it's just basically they're displaying their hate, but I think they weren't given that same energy though. They didn't have that same energy that they would have on Twitter. Akata, and oxtails and all this other shit that he talks about. Right. So yeah, and it happened on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It happened on a Saturday. I heard there was a cookout and there was an after party, just Negro stuff afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So and it was on a Saturday. So I think the song that I have right here lined up for them right now. So while we getting into it, kind of suits, you know what I'm saying? It kind of suits this whole discussion that we got going on right now. So while I'll set everything up, right? You guys enjoy the video.
Girl was boy on Thursday night. Boy was hot, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy was jet back to his door. Girl that can bring that boy joy. Boy thinks of that big fat fat. Big like nothing like that. Girl goes boy and stand him up on Saturday. Saturday, 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 Saturday. Once more, while I'm in the store, talk about a rich shit and make it like a hit. If I'm overloaded with the inner relationship, make it think about time I move one step. Sit your butt to the fix of this. For that weekend is how I let it be. You do it like the weekend. You got that so fast and that super around there. Connected like a car on the wheel with your foot. Come on, everybody, get the fucking out with it.
FBA rally today. FBA, y'all, time to party. FBA rally.
Now, as you pump your fist, I reminisce to a bounce rock stage. No one that's doing the rest. Hey, pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Ooh, keep the taste and do a make it all on the CD. Her hustle doesn't keep me bent. No need to talk, you just walk in. Yes, man. So keep away from all this shit. Mr. Sprinkler. When you come up with Sprinkler, I'm eating ha but it ain't no split. The yard, I trip to the lawn. Out comes the body, follow one I hear. It's clear, rattle the roll. Back up the track, back the roll, y'all. And let's sip on my zippity doo. Let's sip on my
After party, FBA after party, y'all.
Come on, no time behind. Season is twist, no time let me in. Feel on my way, but it's okay. Now let's all Watch this alone when you look at the TV.
Feel on the farm, I feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time.
FBA rally, y'all, on a Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. Saturday on a Saturday. FBA rally happened on a Saturday. Yeah. So I think, a little bit of old school there, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, what I'm saying, Brown from Leaders of the New School. So when I heard it happen on a Saturday and there was after parties and I was like, man, they had a good old time over there. That song popped into my head. Yeah, I'm an old school head, so that's what popped into my head when they went there on a Saturday and it was doing it up. So let's get in before we get into our topic about the rally. Yes, you know what I do because I got listeners, I got little haters, or some people just want to be informed, and I got keep people's feet to the fire when it comes to politics because we have people that want to be willfully ignorant or people just don't know. So yes, I'm gonna do my little political spiel right here. I'm gonna just give a little bit of information as far as like the Republicans, the type of people who they are and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to see if I could do more lives, but my time is very constrained and valuable. Work, family, all that other stuff. I would really love to do more lives. I got like a lot of topics, right? But I couldn't give this one up. I gotta do this FBA rally stuff. But without further ado, I am going to peak because again, you have black Republicans that are keep saying that the Republican Party is the best thing since sliced bread, right? The Democratic Party, they're just as racist as the Republican Party, and so why don't you come over to the Republican Party because they're equally racist and the Democrats take advantage of you and stuff like that. But you're gonna see here, there's no Democratic equivalent to how to these Republicans. Like these Negroes want you to come over to the Republicans that's extremely overtly racist and just gone. The Democrats are gone too, but the Republicans are like it's a different type of crazy. Hold on one moment. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to take care of something real quick. So yeah, there is no equivalent. You know what I'm saying to it. It's different. Like I rather have a person that lies and says, "Hey, look, I'm not racist," and they say they're going to do all these good things for you, and they do half measures or quarter measures, versus a group of people that say, "Nigga, get out of here," and pretty much proud of their racism. That's the dynamic. That is the political racial dynamic between these two parties. So I'm gonna give you a play by play of interviewing of what white Republicans feel, think, and they're just not in touch with reality. They're not grounded in factual truth, right? They're just absolutely not. So I'm gonna show you guys. The shit is funny. The shit is funny to me because it's sad, but it's even worse when you have black people either co-signing the bullshit or you actually have Negroes ignoring it like it's not a real thing. They're not telling you what their constituents, what the Republican constituents think, right? So here we go.
That's a good choice, I believe.
Does it bother you that Mastriano was at the January 6th events at all? Does that play into your thing?
What I don't know any details on that. I don't know if he was in the facility or just at the scene. There's a lot of people at the scene making criminals. So I don't think so.
Right, and
a lot of people, I believe, got led in there too. They were coerced and led into the property. They had to open magnetic doors to get in. How'd they get through there? The guys on the inside were looking at the camera saying, open the door. So they didn't smash windows and climb through windows. They walked in the front door. How's that an insurrection?
With a candidate like that.
Again, he's either watching OAN, Fox News, Breitbart, Stormfront, whatever racist Republican publication he's looking at. Because again, it's don't believe your lying eyes.
Mastriano or any other candidate had been part of it. On the outside, clearly wouldn't bother you. If they were on the inside, would it bother you?
No, none of it really bothers me because I don't think there was any malice involved other than the people that were doing the coercion.
Oh, no, I don't care. It was a guided.
So you heard what he just said? So he says, fine. He said, just in the beginning, is not you breaking the law if you're just there, at the Capitol on January 6th. Doesn't mean that, that's not a crime. Fine. Granted, that's not a crime. The people that, and I don't do guilt by association like these Republican coon goons do, right? And then so the man asked them if they actually did it. If Mastriano actually did it, would that make a difference? He still said no. He still said no. And these are what Republicans do. There are people that are not accountable. They've been getting, because the Democrats are so weak and spineless, they feel that, okay, it's okay for us to get away with crimes and it's okay for us to break the law. Those things don't adhere to us. And the Trump era is really pushing the envelope on it, right? So it's like, it doesn't matter. Rules for thee, but not for me as a Republican collective group. So you can see the hypocrisy, the dishonesty. These are not Americans. These aren't even patriots, because they're going against the same thing that they say that that this country stands for, and they're going against it.
Anyway. I mean, when somebody texted me the day that on January 6th and said, "Oh, the protesters have reached the Capitol," and the first thought I had is, "My God, how did they climb over all the bodies? Did the Secret Service run out of bullets?" I mean, it's only one of those heavily guarded.
And that's the thing. So again, he's either ignorant, misguided, or trying to show cover. We all know. Well, for those of you who don't know, you can see it yourself. There's live footage of obviously the police showing tremendous restraint not to shoot the insurrectionists. They only shot one of them, which was a woman. I think her name was Heather Heyer. I believe. I'm not sure. No, that's not Heather. I forgot her name. She got shot. This is after they're pretty much way deep in the bowels of the Capitol, and again, ignoring orders, breaking another barrier, probably the fourth, fifth barrier. Hey, I did the second, third one. Hey, what's wrong with breaking the fourth one? And she was shot and killed. That was the only one that was shot. So they showed tremendous restraint. So yes, we all would think that, hey, look, if the Capitol Police, you do something like that, they'll shoot you, warning, and then after that, they'll shoot you. But no, that didn't happen. They showed tremendous restraint. This is not Black Lives Matter. right? Where Donald Trump wanted them to wanted Black Lives protesters to be shot. Like, you guys can look that up. He actually said he wanted them to be shot, but January 6th, that's totally different. So yeah.
Places in the world. So there's no way that was anything but a guided tour. I mean, we saw the footage of the police moving aside and waving people in. The doors themselves wait.
Again, a guided tour. This video is what, like probably like a week or two old. This is not like a week or a couple of days after January 6th. This video alone is it's just like about a week old, a week or two old. And they still believe in this lie that was first told in the beginning. I'm telling you, these people are detached from reality. They only consume news that fits their narrative.
20,000 pounds on magnets. It can only be electronically opened from the inside. So there's no way that they reached the Capitol like smashing through the windows. It's all nonsense.
I must have seen different videos because the ones I saw them beating the cops, pushing back on them who were trying to keep them out, breaking windows and doors, and forcing themselves into the Capitol.
Those were not Trump supporters. Those were Antifa members. They were bussed in. We saw the buses coming in.
There weren't Trump supporters, there were Antifa. Even though all the people that got arrested for January 6th are actual real people, to the point these people hold high positions back in their home state. Some are elected officials, some are police officers, some are military men and women. These are these are just like, I mean, you had a lot of Jim Bob from down the way on Keller Street, but you had people that were significant pillars of the community that worked for the government that was against the government. So
and they even put out flyers and were on Facebook saying, here's how you recognize us. We'll have Trump hats on backwards and this and that. And there were a lot of people who were Trump supporters in the crowd saying, that's Antifa, those are feds or what have you. So they were calling them out that day. The whole thing is a big manufactured crisis. I mean, to call that an insurrection is a joke. I mean, anyone who's been in the military, that is not an insurrection. How do you show up to an insurrection against the government without guns? I mean, that's for start.
Some of them were.
Where? Who?
The people that were breaching.
The only person.
Yes, and they were armed to the point. That's why, if you know anything about Rudy Giuliani, which was one of Trump's lawyers, he's now been disbarred because he was coordinating with the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys. If anyone watched anything about January 6th, it was organized from within. That's why there should be pressing charges against Trump, which they're doing right now. There was a coordinated effort. They had people that had weapons there, that had guns there.
The person that got shot was Ashley Babbitt, and she was a Trump supporter. So I mean,
she wasn't Antifa. She was a Trump supporter trying to push her way.
I don't really know that much about her, but I'm just saying in terms of how many people were shot, it was only one person, and it was Ashley Babbitt.
Was she the only Trump supporter there, or were there?
Of course, there were tons of Trump supporters there. Oh, yeah.
No, I was when you said it was Antifa, I wasn't sure.
I'm saying that the people that
he got caught. He says the people that broke in. You catch that? The people that broke in was Antifa. It wasn't Trump supporters. Then he said there was no weapons there or anything like that. The person that got shot was a Trump supporter named Ashley Babbitt that stormed the Capitol, got in the Capitol. But you just said it was Antifa. Now you're saying it's a Trump supporter named Ashley Babbitt. You see the hypocrisy? These people, these people are like gone.
That were creating the havoc were Antifa. And we saw them coming. They were brought in on buses.
What do you think should be done to the January 6th?
Leave them alone. Let them have. The ones that are in prison right now?
Yeah, the ones that are in prison and the ones that are under indictment.
I think we should compare the January 6th people to all the Antifa people.
You see what they do? You see what they do? Instead of saying, hey, look, they did that. That was wrong. They attacked my government. They attacked our government. All of a sudden they're saying, well, but look at the other groups. The other groups did that or whatever. Like, no, that's not how it should be done. If Antifa did anything similar to that or anything like that, they should be put in jail too. But he didn't ask you about Antifa. He asked you about right-wing racist Republicans that hate their government, that went to overturn their own government. That's what he's talking about. That was the question.
People that burned down cities that got nothing. I think we should remember the stand.
Okay, fact check. There's a fact check right here. USA Today. That's where they got it. Thousands of Black Lives Matter protesters were arrested in 2020. I remember that too. So you got these goon Republicans saying it was Antifa, repeating what their white masters are saying, repeating what their betters are saying, and they're just repeating it. You know, this is not something. So when you hear these Republican goons say this, it's coming from their white paymasters and their fellow right Republicans that they love so much. Right? These are sad. These aren't black men. These are just black men that they have no political masculinity. Put it like that. There's no other way to say it. These Negroes have no political masculinity. They're just political slaves to the Republican Party, right? The same thing will go for Democrats. Be a man, stand on what the truth is. Blackness first. You have to be about yourself and your people first, and then you can worry about everybody else. But they don't. They're party first, which is the racist Republican Party. So they're gonna have to repeat what their slave masters are saying. They gotta say what Mazda's saying right now.
And see the despair of the two. January 6 people are being held without any real crimes. And they're in a prison. They've been in a prison for 2 years. BLM literally burned down cities.
So you hear her heart is bleeding and she's shedding a tear because these people have been in jail for 2 years. Not saying what they did what was right. She's not saying what they did was right, but she's kind to soften, how you would perceive them because, what them niggas over there was doing. And, because they think black people get away with murder, right? When we all know it's the total opposite. So you have, Associated Press right here. And here you got over here, records review claims of unequal treatment of January 6th riots. And I remember that. You have the right here, the Black Lives Matter protests, and they were met with just harshness, with just with brutality almost. And they were expressing their amendment right. They didn't have guns. They didn't push or beat up cops or anything like that. Right. And again, Trump said they didn't like it at all. But Trump ain't racist. Trump not racist. He's not racist. Trump not racist. But Trump ordered, there's an article, Trump ordered Black Lives protesters to get shot. I spoke about that in my other video, and I produced the article and everything where Trump wanted Black Lives Matter protesters to get shot. So that's the two-tier justice system that we're talking about here. Right? That's the two-tier justice system. Like, you think with Black Lives Matter, look at the picture. You think Black Lives Matter could have came in droves like that, number one, and then Trump wanted to get them shot. He was about to call the National Guard and everything. You think he'll allow this? But we all know Trump orchestrated this. He told them to go to the Capitol.
And nobody went to jail.
Again, another lie saying no one went to jail. See, and I saw that was Associated Press, an Associated Press review of court documents in more than 300 federal cases stemming from the protests sparked by George Floyd's death last year shows that dozens of people charged have been convicted of serious crimes and sent to prison.
I think, first of all, the American people don't know what happened at January 6th because the media is such a lying bunch. They are presenting total false narratives. So people don't know what happened at January 6th. So if they knew truly what happened at January 6th, they might have a different opinion.
Did you support a bipartisan committee to look into January 6th?
No. I don't think anybody should be looking into people celebrating and standing up for their First Amendment.
No, I just meant what people allege to be a breach of the Capitol. That you just said we don't know what happened on January 6th.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Black Moon. Thanks, brother. Thank you for the sound is good today. I figure out what I did that was wrong, that was causing the sound, brother. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Maybe they tried to do a committee to look into what happened. They did, but it wasn't as bipartisan as people
I
wanted.
don't think they looked into.
And yeah, she's basically trying to just tell this same old tired Republican lie, saying that the January 6th committee is only has Democrats. The January 6th committee has Republicans and Democrats. So the Republicans, because remember, Trump, the Republicans is a cult, is a cult. So if you're with Trump right now and you're not with Trump anymore, they call you a never Trumper. That doesn't happen in the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a huge amount of people that don't like Joe Biden, don't want him running again, and there's not that much infighting. It's like, okay, all right, that's how you feel, whatever. You may have some people that may disagree with you, but people that I run in that are Democrats, they don't want Joe Biden running again. It's like, okay, who's going to be coming up next, for the next presidential election, right? Because Biden's doing a lot of short measures. Granted, he did the student loan debt relief, very modest, but something. And he's supposed to be taking marijuana off a Schedule 1 drug, which is commendable since he signed the crime bill and all those things that criminalize Black people in every way possible. That's at least what he could do. He could do more, but I don't see any Republicans doing anything like that for the people except saying, hate those Negroes, hate those Hispanics, hate those people, That's all they're doing. Only we can protect you. All they do is fear mongering. So again, with a whole 96 crime bill, it was a bipartisan crime bill. Joe Biden and the rest of the Democrats and the Republicans, they all signed that. So what are the Republicans doing to rectify signing the crime bill? Even if you say Joe Biden, that ain't nothing what you all know is bullshit. Okay, let's say Joe Biden, that ain't nothing, right? Let's fit into your whole delusion. That ain't nothing. At least it's a little bit of something, and he's doing something to rectify that. What bill or law that the Republicans now and then try to push to rectify them signing a crime bill? Exactly. Nothing.
To what the breach of police stations, county buildings with BLM. There was no committee for that.
No, I'm talking about January 6th.
I know, and I'm saying it's a double standard. And when we get rid of the two-tier justice system, then there will be an ability to have justice.
A two-tier. She's talking about a two-tier justice system because she think that Black people got away with crime, and then white people are being prosecuted while Black people got away scot-free. And you hear these same Republicans say the same exact thing. What about Antifa? What about BLM? It's the same exact talk about. This is how these Negroes are all huddled up under their white masters, just listening to everything that they say. Because it's nothing different. It's the same thing. They repeat the same thing that they said. They're not even different or try to tweak, the lie. No, verbatim. This is what these Negroes say when you go on Dynas's channel or any Republican on YouTube channel.
But right now, January 6th is isolated and weaponized to divide us.
That was all contrived, in my opinion. There's more than enough proof out there for me to believe that nefarious people actually did the breach to begin with while he was speaking, by the way, before he said to go there, etc. And this time,
whoa. But he said to go there. So even if let's say they were nefarious people, right? Like he said, which is bullshit. But let's say there was nefarious people saying for him to go there, right? That was there already before he said it. He still said to go there. So it was nefarious people that was already there that Trump didn't send, but then Trump makes sure there was nefarious people there because he said to go there. How is that any different? That makes no sense.
I'm in committee right now that is being, as far as I'm concerned, it has absolutely no merit whatsoever for the American people, and definitely not for me. Okay.
Again, I know I keep repeating myself. The January 6th committees consist of Republicans and Democrats. All the people that are testifying, 98.999% are Republicans that voted for Donald Trump twice, that were a part of his cabinet, his presidency, or was a part of his election campaign. These aren't nobodies. These are people that work with Donald Trump in every way, right? I shouldn't say bore you guys with the details, but I'm just giving you guys some breadcrumbs to follow. It's very simple for those of you that don't know.
It has one goal, and that is to take one man down. Well, there's more of us than just that one man. If there's one thing that Donald J. Trump gave to every one of us, he truly pointed us in the direction of we the people instead of we the government. And that is
we the people. Again, another retarded statement. We the people consists of the American people. The government is also a part of America, right? Which is also the government. The government is not like you got the government and then you got the people. No, the government and the people are one thing. It's one body. So it's not like we the people run the United States and oh God, you got that government that's like a dictatorship or an occupying military force that's forcing us to do this. No, that's not how it works, but that's how they see it. And that's how they convince themselves that their own government is the enemy. And this is how you get nuts like him, because they're convinced that my own government that I love is the enemy. And the fact they're holding up constitutional rules and constitutional law, that makes them the enemy. Oh, why are they the enemy? Oh, because the law doesn't favor my favorite guy, my head leader, the cultist, right? It doesn't put favor my orange leader. Like this is what America has devolved into. These people, right? But I'm glad to know. I mean, you guys will be glad to know that is a significant amount of people, but it's not a majority amount of people because, again, the Republican Party has never been a popular party. That's why they got to do all these tricks, do insurrections, need the electoral college to get into office, put doubt on the voting system that has always been good, always work. Always they say, "Oh, this voter fraud," all this nonsense. Only they're the ones that cries about them losing.
truly what I feel blessed from that man and the movement. Okay. But the point is, right now we're at a crossroads. Okay. We're in a civil war, whether we like it or not.
Well, I don't view January 6th as the great insurrection that the media and the government want us to believe it is.
What do you see it as?
I see it as expressing ourselves. I see it,
You see it as expressing yourself. So, okay, cool. So going up to the Capitol with guns, with Confederate flags and saying "Thou shalt not tread on me." Okay, that is expressing yourself. But when it comes to gets physical, and you guys are attacking Capitol rioters, breaking government property, saying kill Mike Pence, we're gonna hang Mike Pence, and you got the gallows and there's a noose for Mike Pence, and you say kill Nancy Pelosi, and all the things that Trump said that he doesn't like, that you guys need to do. That's what you guys did, like bots, right? Like like Trump had his hand up your ass like a puppet, and this is what you guys were doing because you guys are just cuckolds and beta males. This is what you guys did because you have no brain for yourself, right? Then it becomes physical. So y'all went in there, you were attacked in there. Like I said before on one of my videos, because Republicans, they're not racist at all. You had a Capitol policeman who had a testimony of saying that through his whole life, no one ever called him a nigger. But he said that ended on January 6th, where they were saying, oh, let's take this nigger's gun and shoot him with his own gun. And he said other black officers that he spoke to on that day had the same experience where they kept calling all the black Capitol Police niggers. But they're not racist. But they're just expressing themselves, though. So, a little caveat.
And again, if you look into the information that the people who are presenting information here have for you, then you can clearly see that there's infiltration from many different aspects of the government itself. I mean, if you watch the trials where they were asking a member of the FBI, can you say if you had informants there or if you had agent provocateurs there? They couldn't answer. They refused to answer, right? What does that say? Now I have to worry about my own government sabotaging me when I'm just in a place, expressing my First Amendment right. And that's what I view January 6th as. President Trump asked for there to be for the National Guard to be there, and Pelosi vetoed it. So I really don't understand how then they could turn around and say that this is Trump.
Right. I'm not sure the speaker has the power of veto over sending the National Guard. As a matter of fact, I know.
Yeah, like Nancy Pelosi is the House Speaker. So she's saying Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump has the same power. You don't veto. President Trump could say, call the National Guard right now. He doesn't have to run it past the House Speaker. I don't think he has to even run it past Mitch McConnell. So, like, what is he talking about? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So we have another one right here. I like this one. This lady's a doozy.
Wake. Where does it take us then? Reawaken, awaken, wake. Where does it take us then to? Woke. Tell me the difference between how you perceive wokeism and reawakening, because they have the same root word.
They are as far as the East is from the West.
What does woke mean to you?
Woke is about as criminal as you can get. It's about sexualizing children. It is about everything immoral in this country. It is.
So more projection and just like how society and black people coined the version woke, right? There's I forgot who sang the song. A song called I stay woke. I don't know who the guy that sings the song, whatever. He sounds like Bilal to me, but I need to do a video about that. Anything that's like positive. And black people do this to themselves too. Anything that's positive, it's always turned into a negative when it starts getting momentum. So woke, when people say you're being woke, it means say, hey, look, you were asleep. You now have a new understanding or a clear understanding of a certain situation, or just coming into new knowledge. It's like when you got Negroes saying, oh, these Hotep, oh, you Hotep. Oh, these pro-blacks now. Now, what's wrong with being woke? What's wrong with being knowledgeable or coming into new knowledge? What's wrong with being Hotep? Hotep is an African Kemetic word that means peace. Now something's wrong with being peace. Oh, these pro-blacks now. What's wrong with being pro-black? If you're black, what's wrong with being pro-black? Like all these words that's supposed to uplift us, help us, strengthen us, that's supposed to be admired, right, and pedestalized, is getting degraded as something negative. For the like of me, that really eggs me. It really eggs me. Like you have a conversation with someone and they take something that's supposed to be positive and they turn into something negative. It's like a slight. These pro-blacks. Oh, these whole tech niggas. Like, what?
Is about, I can't, it just upsets me about.
I can see that, but tell me more about it. Like, what is it that people glom onto that is upsetting?
I don't even know. When you talk to real people and you say, do you really want to disparage your police? Do you really want to sexualize your children?
I'm a real person. Okay, and I don't want to disparage the police. I only want to disparage the police that abuses their authority and realize that they work for me. I don't work for them. I'm a real person, and I'm against police that think they're a military force. So, I'm also a real person, and I'm against people sexualizing children. So, but in the Republican Party, you have people like Matt Gaetz, Brett Kavanaugh, Roger Moore, Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, if you're famous, you can grab women by the pussy. Saying how he wants to have sex with his daughter. Him walking in on girl pageants and stuff like that. And you got some Negroes saying, hey, if you're walking on girl pageants of 13-year-olds, hey, bro, they hired him to judge it. If you guys follow me, you know who says that. We know who says that. A proud, buck broken Republican says, hey, Donald Trump walks in on 13-year-old girls at a beauty pageant. Hey, bro, they hired him to judge it. So all they do is all projection. And I even talk about Pizzagate. Oh, they're sexualizing children at the pizza shop in the basement. Guy shoots up the whole pizza shop. There's not a basement. They don't even have a basement to do anything like that. Why? Because these right wingers like Breitbart, not Breitbart, Infowars. They listen to Infowars and saying, "Oh, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, they're doing these things." Listen to me, Alex Jones. Yeah, they're doing that. We got to do something about it. Like, this is what they listen to. Again, these people are detached from reality. Again, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't, like, shared, and subscribe.
Do you really want to put people in poverty? What do you want? That's what the woke agenda is. The awake agenda is support our police, support our government, support our schools, not woke schools that do what they're doing to children. They've been doing it for a long time, just under the radar, and now they're in our faces. And if we don't wake up to what they're doing to our children,
do you think people in there support our government?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Well, you just said support
our government.
Well, President Biden and the Congress of the United States and the Supreme Court.
I would turn the question on, what do you support about President Biden?
Well, I
would just ask that question. If you were to ask me, do you support President Biden? I would say.
See the Republican trick, how they try to move the goalposts? They all do that. They do not, like, when they see a question that you ask them a question and it sounds like, wow, I'm kind of cornered here and I'm going to look like a hypocrite and an anarchist and things like that. I ain't going to have to change the question or answer a question with a question. So I won't answer the initial question.
Just give me one thing I should try to support and then I could answer that. It's too broad of a question.
The only reason I asked it, and this wasn't about Biden and supporting any one person, was you said support our government. And that's why I was asking, do you think that people in there support our government?
I don't think I'm the one that said support our government. You did. So here's what I say. Our government has gone.
I think, am I wrong? Did she say support our government? Did I say it?
Support our police, support our government.
I love that part. They talk so much shit. They can't even keep up with it. Come on, man. This is a bad look. And the thing about it, I would like to say, you know what? This is well, I know obviously it's not all of them, but when you get like, look, the Republicans that got sense, they're not gonna get on the mic and say this dumb shit, right? The ones that get on the mic that say this dumb shit are people like this that actually believe it, and that's the scary part. They actually believe it, where they're gonna get on a hot mic and just talk nonsense. They're gonna talk lunacy.
Call it left, right. It's more like awake, not awake at this point in the game.
Can I play with that for a second? Awake, woke. What about that?
No, not woke at all. Not woke.
That's true. He ain't woke.
Follow any woke lingo or any of that nonsense. But woke to me is the people that are being led by entities that are attractive to them and pleasure to them, and try to guide them a certain way. So
come on, Santa Claus. Come on, Sandy. Santa Claus.
Kind of like, yeah, it's obviously a mindset, but
yeah, okay, Santa Claus. That's enough. See you in a couple of weeks. Look, I just need to give you guys like a little taste of it, because when you get in these spaces and stuff like that, in these Republican coon goon spaces, then they're gonna like to deny all what their fellow Republicans feel and what they feel and what their ideas are. So I'm trying to be honest here, give them a platform. So without further ado, we got a little more stuff to cover. So we're gonna get into it right now. So Tariq Nakoon, aka Marcus Sanders, they had their Saturday FBA rally and what have you. Okay, whatever. Cool. All right. I didn't look, it was, again, for me, so I could be clear, right? I'm not against reparations as far as reparations being given out. I'm against reparations only because I don't think Black people as a whole are mentally fit, financially responsible to get, let's say, if it's large sums of money. So if reparations were to be dispensed as far as like, here, you get $1 million, you get $1 million, you get $1 million, then nah, I think there should be certain things, because we're not, I shouldn't say all of us, obviously, but I think there should be something, no matter if we're financially responsible or not within our lives. I feel that it should be something in the form of something that we all get, far as like a program or land or something that you just can't squander away like money, because again, 40 acres and a mule, our ancestors didn't get 40 acres and a mule or anything like that. So something similar to 40 acres and a mule, where we could both have an economic foothold and advantage, so we all could get somewhere. But that's why I'm against reparations in this form. And I hate the fact that reparations is being represented in such a disingenuous way, as far as FBA, which is pretty much a hate group. So I didn't want them to have this rally, and I kind of wanted them to have this rally, and let me explain why. I wanted them to have the rally because I want them to be exposed as the hate mongers that they are. Because remember, this is just a live Twitter space. That's all that it is. So I wanted to keep hearing. I wanted to hear the Jollof rice and akata this, akata that, and oh, your oxtails this and banana boat. That's what I wanted to hear, so they could get exposed as a hate group that they are. But it seems like there were just a bunch of weak ass bitches out there, because they were on their good foot. From what I heard, I didn't hear anything crazy at all. They weren't saying anything crazy. They weren't showing their ass and acting up, right? So, but before I get into that, I want to show you the mural that I did, because, well, if you see one of my videos during the summer, I was pretty much talking about solidarity that that Black American, not Black Americans, that Caribbeans and Africans have solidarity. We all know that we're one people, despite the lies that Tariq Nakoon and his goons be going around spewing. Pretty much some Negroes from the South or from somewhere in the Midwest where they don't have interaction, so they don't have a lived experience, so they're gonna listen to a bunch of other idiots who don't have a lived experience or are lying about their lived experience. So without further ado, here's the mural. This is Kofi again. I told you I'm gonna bring y'all another mural in a Caribbean neighborhood. I'm in Brooklyn, in Canarsie. So you see, you got George Floyd right here, right? You got the Haitian flag, Sabasi, the American flag. You got the black fist, you got the towers, and they added it over the years. So this is DMX. They just added DMX. In the beginning, it used to be George Floyd and Pop Smoke right here. So you can see where's this Pop Smoke right here, right? It's Pop Smoke right here. For you don't know, Pop Smoke, he's Panamanian. In case you thought he was American, but he's Panamanian. He's from this neighborhood, right? That's DMX right there. So I'm just here showing y'all that Caribbeans and Africans solidarity with Black American struggle, because we all Black. We all know that. We all know every Black. So you got it right here again. This is the artist's names right here. You know what I'm saying? This is his work. Right? This is work. You can hit him up. Right? The movement began 1791. See right here, 1804. We all know what 1804 is. Right? So I told you, I know it took a while, but I told you I was going to come through with the mural. Another one, the first one I showed you was in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens, where there's lots of Jamaicans and Caribbeans and Africans, right? Which is the Haitian flag, so you put Floyd, see right there. And another one is in Brooklyn, so y'all know I ain't bullshitting. This is Brooklyn, New York. Right here. It's the corner that we on. Let me zoom in on that so y'all know where we at. Flatlands. Flatlands. And East 80th Street. See what I'm saying? So I'm just here giving this to y'all so y'all can know what's up. I just said I was gonna come through with it. I know it's months later, but I don't be in this neighborhood like that. I don't live far from here, but I'm not close to here like that. So when I saw the mural, it hit me. So you know what I'm saying? It's another mural over there. I'm not quite sure who that dude is. There's another one across the street. You know what I'm saying? So you know, even the Jewish people be around over here saying the Messiah is here. So that's a different topic. So you know we're in Brooklyn, New York. All right, y'all. This is Kofi. Just showing y'all a mural doing the field work, letting y'all know what's up. Yeah, so you got that there. So I just wanted to show you guys that, to know that, you know, if there's any doubters or anything like that as far as that. So anyway, let's get into Tariq or Marcus's talking about the FBA rally and how it went. I don't think, you know, he lying, man. He kind of lying his ass off as far as what was what. You know, as far as like, I believe as far as like the size of the crowd and all that other stuff. I don't think he really wasn't being truthful about that. So I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm gonna play a little bit of it so we can kind of get the gist. It's just a lot of ass kissing and a lot of lying. So I don't have to really go into deep for him to pretty much for you guys to hear that. So
It's been a long day. It's been a beautiful day out. Do a recap about the FBA rally for reparations today. It's been trending all day. Very proud event. Proud of everybody who came out and represented. It was a phenomenal event today, man. Everything went off without a hitch. So beautiful. Man. How many of you guys were here today? Let me see some fists in the air for all the people who were here today. Man, folks came out and showed so much love today. I'm still being.
link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Remember to like, share, subscribe. The link is in the chat. Again, I'm just basically calling fair use. Calling fair use is for the YouTube moderators and for the YouTube police. I'm calling fair use on all content that is being played. It's for educational purposes. Again, calling fair use.
Aiming on that vibe, man. I really appreciate everybody for coming out and showing love. Oh, man, it was a great event today, man. Everybody, the speakers were wonderful. The volunteers were wonderful. The staff, my crew, the audience, man. Beautiful event today. So we had the rally for reparations at Freedom Plaza out here in D.C. Man, the weather was beautiful. I mean, everything was on our side today. The sunniest day of the month so far. Beautiful.
It was so beautiful. You know, they had a barbecue and all that.
Actually, hot as hell, actually. We was burning up in the suits. But man, the audience was phenomenal. It felt like a family reunion.
Now, I'm going to do what he did when he was talking about the Labor Day parade. Now, what you see here, they had the FBA rally. I'm saying it's like probably about 500 people there, right? But I'll be generous and say it was like 1,000, right? That's a head turner, right? 1,000 people is a head turner. If you're in Washington, D.C., and you see that many black people, you know, in a crowd like that, yeah, you'll turn your heads. But compared to his Twitter followers and the followers he have on YouTube, that was a sad outcome. You know, that was very because you be having like 20,000 people in a Twitter space chiming in saying these damn immigrants, these so-called, don't call, oh, y'all don't call yourselves black, y'all say y'all Jamaican, y'all say y'all Honduran, y'all like all types of stuff. Oh, you ain't black, you think you white. I'm like all projection, while they're using white hateful talking points to disparage black people just like them that was born in a different in this hemisphere that has more connection to them than the white man. But they gotta say all these disparaging things against black people to look favorable in front of white people. You know what I'm saying? Like what did Uncle Ruckus say? Don't trust them new niggas over there. So they all on their Uncle Ruckus shit saying don't trust them new niggas over there. But they got some act right when it was out there because they don't know who's what, so they're very cowardly. If it's the same group of people, they're extremely cowardly because I wanted that same energy to be out there. But anyway,
seeing a lot of the faces, many of them familiar faces because they come to a lot of our events. You should have been here, man. T.S. Giselle, were you?
Master Control.
Sorry about that. Stupid commercials come up. Comma.
Here. I heard you were doing security. Oh God! You got it. All right, I done snapped it. I gotta let you get one off. Hold on. Let me. I'll be fair. I'll let you get one off. All right.
Listen to this, y'all.
Let's get it over. Go ahead. You know, if I would have been there, I would have been the fattest chick in the crowd. So you know I wasn't there.
You said the fattest?
The fattest.
Oh, the bad. Okay, I thought it was.
But I'm gonna be at the after party.
Oh my God!
I'm slipping into a nasty cat suit.
After party. So there's an after party. So again, if you hear Tariq in the beginning, he's saying that, hey, look, you know, I'm in the hotel. So this is right after the whole FBA conference or hate rally or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on right now. Just to give you guys the background and context of where and right now. So let me play it again. So I hope y'all like my little avatar Tariq. You know, he the pimp. You know, if he's gonna pimp anything, he pimping them white women. You know what I'm saying? He about that white life. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's how he met his wife. I don't know. That could be one of his wife's family members because he got a whole white family. So, but he's so pro-black. He got a mulatto wife. This Negro said he'll raise the flag of Europe in the bedroom. He during the whack Mac lessons, he encourages interracial dating, but he's pro-black and he got a whole white family at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, y'all that stupid, y'all that gullible. It's like sad, yo. It's like real sad. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Dolce and Gabbana, okay?
You mean Bucci and garbage? Okay.
I have a quick statement.
Go. No, wait. First of all, did you hate? Somebody said you were hating. Were you trying to hate?
That's what I'm about to address. Hold on, let me turn my television down. My television in the chateau. Let me turn it down.
Okay. Chateau meaning Super 8 hotel. But go ahead.
So I did think that it was not going to be a decent sized event. I did say something along the lines of 250 people. So I can be the bigger woman and give you credit, Tariq, and admit the organization was much better than I anticipated, and there was a larger crowd than the TS anticipated.
Of course.
I want this movement to...
Again, I don't know if I skipped already. He said it was like 4,000 or thousands of people out there. Thousands of people was not out there. This is like one of the best shots of the whole crowd. And if anyone knows anything about crowds, when you gauge a crowd and things like that, it may look like a lot of people. When you start counting, it's not. And again, this is just a live Twitter space. You could just show up. It wasn't like, hey, look, it was fenced off. All right, we giving tickets out to keep tabs on the count. It wasn't like a paid event. You just showed up. So there's no way they could quantify the number of actual people that was there. You pretty much eyeballing the crowd and doing a guesstimate. So, and they're over guesstimated by a lot.
To succeed, Tariq, my issues have always been with some of the messaging. So I will give credit today to the speakers that held in some of maybe their more radical opinions, and it was a very neutral. All of the speeches, I didn't hear all the speeches. All of the speeches that I heard were very neutral. And I want this movement to succeed. A lot of people think.
So you heard what she said. She says about the speech that she doesn't like the messaging, and that's my thing, and that's what makes Tariq Nasheed such a piece of shit. He takes a worthy, noble cause, right, and then he uses it for his own financial benefit, for his own financial gain. He pretty much took members from ADOS, siphoned a lot of members from ADOS, right? And pretty much said like, Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell, they don't know what they're doing and stuff like that. For hours to do something like that, I could get reparations and before they can because they're Democratic shills and da-da-da-da. Again, and I'm going to keep on saying this. What did this rally, how are they better off now from this rally? How are they closer to reparations? The lady, woman, or whatever he or she is or whatever said, hey, look, I don't agree with the messaging and stuff like that. And the speakers, they were more neutral or whatever, they weren't radical. But all of those speakers there, not one of them was a politician. They were all pretty much spokesmen. None of them were politicians. So they don't have anything close to like HR 40 on the table, which is discussing, as far as I know, is like discussing or trying to push reparations forward. They don't even have a bill on the table. So the FBA rally is over now. What bill do they have on the table for their version of reparations? They don't have anything. Again, it's just a hate rally, meet and greet, live Twitter space / barbecue after party. That's all that this is. But she's going to say something, and he's going to say something very interesting.
I'm Black American. I'm just as Black American as you and everyone in this room and everyone at the rally. This country does owe a debt to our people, but we can do that without preaching a message of xenophobia, homophobia, misogyny. And today,
you heard what she says. You can't, this, she's Black American. This nation owes Black people a debt, no doubt, right? But you could do that without preaching xenophobia, homophobia, and other sorts of hate. Like Africans, like in the Caribbean, we have our own thing where we're going for reparations. We don't disparage Black Americans. Like what do you get out of that? Unless you're trying to get some butter biscuits and from white society, or with Caribbeans, it will be the English, the Spanish, and the French. We're not trying to get crumpets and croissants and empanadas. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, I feel the psychology of Black Americans that do that, they say, look, we want power. So the people that's close to them who has power are those same white people that have that have their boot on your neck. So how do those white people acquire power? Through brutality, propaganda, and just deprivation of those people. So what do? They feel like if I got they're too weak to fight the white power structure, right? They don't have that same energy for white people, the people that actually have their boot on their neck, but there's someone who looks like them that just think that this person may be in the way. They go crazy. They go ham on Africans and Caribbeans because they feel that they're their enemy, even though they're more their ally than their enemy. It doesn't make sense psychologically. They have a divide and conquer. Not even white people do that. They got white people that probably don't like each other, and the England and Ireland is a perfect example. Hey, look together. For the common good cause, they will have a group cohesiveness when it comes to like race. They'll do that. They'll come together in opposition of other people. But if they were left alone to their own devices, they'll keep on for the next couple of 100 years like they've been doing, killing each other and fighting each other. But at least they're smart enough to come together as a group so they could be strong together, right? But Negroes, they're not going to follow that model. They only follow the white man for so much. They told him that black is no good, so I'm going to fight for black people. Anyway.
They proved that. Today proved that, Tariq, because I didn't hear any of that. And so keep that.
We don't do that anyway. We don't do that.
Keep that momentum. Keep that momentum going. Keep that momentum going, Tariq. And then I hope to hear from you Tuesday night when Stacey Abrams becomes the governor of Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Brian Kemp won.
That ain't happening. All right. That's enough, Lord. Well, we don't have no xenophobia. We don't preach none of that stuff anyway. But anyway.
You see how this nigga just lied? We don't preach none of that stuff. So let's go. Let's do something. This is Tariq Nakoon's Marcus Sanders videos that he puts up on his YouTube, right here, right? So this is the video that we're in right now. If you see my cursor, right? So it's coming to the FBA rally. I really don't listen to it. You don't really have to go far, right? Every now and again, I'll tune in and see what crazy shit he's saying or whatever, right? So we have here, keep on going, see what issues, or we'll talk about, about black voters, whatever, reparations coming to Washington, D.C., yada, yada, yada. Talk about Kanye, he got adhered to the algorithm. He got the Bucci Bear cartoon. Y'all want to see Bucci Bear? Y'all want to see Bucci Bear real quick? Bucci Bear cartoons be kind of hilarious. But nah, we got a lot of stuff to carry, but we got the Bucci Bear cartoon over here. If y'all didn't check it out, y'all can check that out. Right? So yeah, he's basically just talking about voting and things like that. So we get to over here and it starts getting a little interesting. Like you can kind of see going towards the rally, talking about the rally and stuff like that. It kind of died down a little bit, even though he probably made some mentions in here. Like I said, I don't look at all his lives, but just looking at the thumbnails right here, you got Somali man compares their crime stats to FBA crime stats. Obviously, this is just some random man, and he's doing eugenics, obviously saying, oh, we're different because we look at their hairline. No, it's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? That makes no sense. Right? So boom, he's going ham on Africans over here, right? Yay, another Bucci Bear cartoon. The original one. Great. Love it. Right? And it says foreign thug says he wants to smoke with Tariq Nasheed or whatever, right? Again, just despicable. Right? Keep going a little further. Another Bucci Bear cartoon. How many Bucci Bear cartoons he got? Oh wow, I'm backed up on my Bucci Bear cartoons. I gotta get it on and popping. All right, right here, $5 FBA says we should be thankful for Obama. I remember this and stuff like that. So he keep calling. I remember the kid keeps saying he's American. He's American. Tariq saying no, you're not. No, you're not. But he even thinks like Meghan Markle. She's like probably like what 25% black. He says she's 100% black. Like what? And here he is talking bad about Caribbeans and stuff like that at the West Indian Day Parade. Here we go. Tether Troll brags about Obama being president before FBA, 2 months ago. So you can see he started clearing up his act as it got a little bit closer to the FBA rally. They say foreign female. You see all this stuff, all this hate mongering stuff. Non-FBA teachers, teachers with contempt for FBA students. This is how it is. Non-FBA man told to stay away from thugs in America. I don't know what's wrong with that. Who goes to a new place is like, oh, let me go to the bottom of the barrel. Like if I go to, I don't know, let's say if I was to go to Puerto Rico or something like that, why I want to go to the worst part of Puerto Rico and hang around the lower class of Puerto Ricans? They're upper class, middle class Puerto Ricans. Well, I want to be around all the criminals. Like he doesn't even make any sense. Like, why would you take offense to that unless you think all black Americans is thugs? So that's exposing his lie. That's exposing his lie right there. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was sharing my screen when I wasn't sharing my screen. Oh, my bad. I'm so used to sharing my screen. I thought I was actually doing it. My fault. So I'm gonna show you guys like real quick what I was talking about. So sorry about that. Oh man, where'd he go? All right, right here. All right, so right here. So that's what I was talking about. So right here, you see, it's what I'm talking about right now. And like I said, it was kind of like I said, I don't listen to all of his lives really. He probably was talking about some jollof rice and oxtails or whatever, and things like that, so it'll calm down. But when you go further down on his timeline, you will clearly see Somali Man right here. Somali Man compares their crime stats to FBA. So, and the further down you go, same thing over here, foreign thug. You keep going. Right here, talking to the Dominican dude. And Dominicans, there's some Dominicans in my neighborhood. You will not know they're Dominican until they open their mouth. They blacken it. He's like a white Dominican, that kid. But there's Dominicans as that Tariq Nasheed could be Dominican, you would not know. Right? So in here he's going in on them, right? But he bows down to Hispanic people. So we saw what happened at that Power 106 thing. And here again, $5 FBA says we should be thankful for Obama going in. Here, Helen Markle again, Tether again, right? So as you go deeper and deeper, he gets back on his xenophobia and anti-blackness. Foreign females troll gives her opinions on FBA. Again, just more hate. Well, we don't do that stuff. We don't do that. We don't get out there. We don't do that. You're lying. Yes, you do. So I'm going to speed this up because there's something else I want to get to.
Yeah. Y'all gonna have that little march for reparations. Somebody said, now I got word that Roland Martin was in a Chipotle in DC.
A big mechanism at Amazon is collecting the voice of your customer.
Sorry about that.
Crying. We please check on Roland because he's been one of the chief haters. Y'all gonna have that little march for reparations. Y'all asses better get out there. Oh, it wasn't so little, Roland. Now, if your dinner servings were little, maybe you wouldn't be such a fat, chunky Negro. So yeah, people were trying to hate this thing down, and it didn't work.
Like I said, all he's going to do right now, so you guys are going to speed this up. He's talking about, there were like Proud Boys there and funny looking white people there, and all they're going to do is pretty much kiss his ass from here to Christmas and all that other stuff. You're going to just embellish about the crowd size, but I want y'all to get like a vibe of what's going on. But notice, there was no black people, there was no Africans, there was no Caribbeans or anything like that obstructing the whole march or anything like that. It was just white supremacists. It was just good old everyday white supremacists. That's all that it was, right? So pretty much it's just a bunch of people just kissing his ass, embellishing about the crowd size and yada 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 yada. You know what I'm saying? Anything to distract from that barbershop hidden history museum. You know what I'm saying? Anything to distract from that subway hidden history museum. You know what I'm saying? It looked like parts where that thing looked like a space where you rent out for a quinceañera. It was it was mad tiny. Anything to distract from that $2 million that he finessed from the black community. So moving forward, there was a very interesting conversation about this that I bumped into. And I like the conversation that they had because it's questions that people need to ask Tariq Nakoon or ask FBA and just be honest about certain things because you're not allowed to question Tariq Nasheed about anything. And I think the discussion was very, very good. They asked a lot of questions that people need to go ask Tariq Nasheed or his cult member forwards. People need to ask Marcus Sanders this, right? So I'm going to share my screen, and it's a very interesting conversation that they had, and I think I just liked it. I'm gonna share it and let you guys know. Again, this is fair use. I'm using this for fair use for educational purposes only. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you have not liked, shared, and subscribed as of yet.
And how can people follow you?
Shout out.
Rally for reparations in Washington, D.C. With midterm elections right around the corner, Roland Martin made sure to address the rally on his own show, criticizing the movement, saying it won't help black people get anything done. Instead, Martin advocates for voting as the right way to initiate change instead of making demands. Now, before we get to today's topic, don't forget early voting has started. Voting is not the only answer, but it's a powerful tool we have for change, so don't waste it. If you're in Georgia and need a ride to the polls, call the People's Agenda at 877-524-8683. Today we have our County Heights analyst, Capona Pierre, calling into the show, along with a very special guest, comedian Byron Bowers, to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Hold on, let me go ahead and say, y'all can go to that little reparations rally on Saturday the 5th. Y'all ain't getting nothing, not even HR 40, if they control the House and the Senate. You can rewrite it all day. You can have Darity. You can have Yvette, Antonio, if you really want. You will get nothing. Because not one Republican even remotely supports reparations.
Boom. So he has a point. He has a point. Their fake reparations rally, right? They're not going to get this by force. Of course not, right? They're going to do it the right way. They're going to do it the democratic way. They're going to make a case, right? And they're going to go through the regular political process of getting it, even though they don't have no political person whatsoever representing them, right? The people and the speakers they had, like, was Dr. Kaba, because I spelled that up, but Dr. Kaba, Dr. James Smalls. Those two brothers are Pan-Africans, right? And even Dr. James Smalls, there was a video, damn, I forgot to put that video, where this whole FBA bullshit was kicking off, and he did not approve of it. He was like, it was basically just nonsense. It was divide and conquer. And he spoke ill of the FBA movement. So I think Dr. Smalls was there to give some balance. Like I've been hearing, there was no hate, there was no anti-African sentiment, no anti Caribbean or anti-sentiment, because I think you had those brothers there, and I think they set the tone right. So anyone, at least, I mean, these group of people, at least they had some shame, either were to say that, but they didn't have that same energy. Which is why I call them bitch asses. They're a bunch of punks, right? Because they weren't talking all that good all in public spaces, on that Twitter live space. But anyway, what Roland is saying is absolutely correct. You're trying to get this done through the democratic process. Now, I would push back on Roland if they had like some type of senator or congressman or some type of elected officials, like, you know what, I back you guys on this. I support you guys on reparations and the FBA move, but no political person is going to do that after they find out what Tariq Nasheed is about, a stealer, a grifter, anti-black, talking bad about other black people. And they're like, nah, this guy is freaking toxic. My political career will be at end if I was to say I was supporting this guy. This guy is pretty much a hate monger and a thief and a con artist. Like, no one's gonna do that and that has any sense or in good conscience. But he think that he's doing something that's a noble cause that will help him. Yes, it's a noble cause, but your rhetoric, and I showed you how his rhetoric has been for years, as of up to recently. So Roland Martin is making a case. You're getting nothing. Republicans do not support reparations in the slightest. You got Darity, all those people who were saying everyone's on the HR 40, that's on HR 40 committee or whatever, that's trying to push HR 40 to get reparations. Not one of them is a Republican. Name me a Republican that is for reparations. None. These are the same white people that says pull yourself up by the bootstraps when the United States government have gave them boots and straps, have given them all types of grants, have given them all types of loans they don't have to pay back up to this day, giving back the PPP loans. You got freaking Republicans mad at Joe Biden giving student loan debt to everybody, right? Saying that, oh no, you don't need to pay back what you owe, while these same people have PPP loans that they got for millions of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they don't have to pay 1 red cent back. Biden says, okay, I'll forgive a couple thousand of your student loan debt, when some people will have $50,000-$60,000, if even more in student loan debt, and he's just giving you a little bit of relief. And the people that don't have to borrow millions of dollars don't have to pay a blind cent back. And these are the same people who are hating on what Biden is doing. Selfish, hypocrites, racist. Those 3 things define what Republicans are.
Now, there's a couple things that I want to unpack here. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today, Byron. Absolutely, for this conversation. Pierre, I'm going to kick it off with you to get your reaction. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with Roland's stance that, voting is over fighting for reparations?
Yes. I do. Of course I do. I'm half white, so put it in the comments. What else would I say? But what he's saying is true. You get the Republicans running that Supreme Court. All that we're talking about, they're going to give us, they haven't given us money since. I'm not saying not fight for reparations, but the biggest picture will be, who's running the Supreme Court and the government, and see what we get out.
I'm old school, so this dude was a big comedian in the 90s and the early 2000s or whatever, right? You can see all the movies he's in. You see it right there. This is the one with Bill Bellamy. Oh my God, I forgot the name of that movie. You got Babs with Halle Berry and stuff like that. So he looked a little different. But again, this is comedy hype news. Whatever I'm using this, fair use, fair use, right? Like I said, they have good commentary. So back to it.
Because you sit there and yell and say, well, anyway, there you go. Then they ain't never getting that anyway, so why the reparation will come tomorrow? They ain't never getting that. But putting yourself in a better position, like Roland Martin saying, what I agree with. I don't agree with him calling this reparation gathering something small and little. Don't be little that now, man. Tariq is trying to get, something, his voice being heard, and it should be heard. So I don't have a problem with him saying what he wants to say.
Yeah, I have a problem saying what he wants to say. I don't think he's abreast with everything he's been saying. I think he just caught like Tariq on his non-hateful black day, and he feels like, okay, this is how he is all the time, when he's just pretty much changing his narrative just for the sake, so he can be more palatable for the community, for people who may not know how he's been for the past 3-4 years, right? And his grifting and all that. So, yeah.
Say as far as Tariq, getting his word out there, but I think the real thing is, I don't know if reparations will get passed or something like that. Not with a house that's going to be full of Republicans and a Supreme Court. Just don't see it happen.
Absolutely. Come on, let me bring you in to get your thoughts and reactions on that. What do you think? Do you agree with Roland's stance saying that, hey, voting is more important than fighting or rallying for reparations?
No, I don't agree with him. I see his point of view, though. The only thing is that there was a time when the Democrats had the full House and we still didn't get reparations. So to me, it's like, what difference between Republicans or Democrats? They had the House at one time and nothing came about it. So with that being said, he has some very, very good points, but at the same time, we have to try. We got to keep trying.
You see, so he came full circle. So he's saying, okay, the Democrats had the House at one time and we get nothing. We had nothing. I mean, we still pretty much have the House right now. The thing is, all you got is HR 40. Are y'all doing anything to push HR 40? Okay, you don't like HR 40. Are you doing anything to put down a new reparations bill? Like, hey, look, it's your HR 40. Y'all been trying to push this through for way over a decade. We need to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to have our new thing up. Again, how are there any closer to reparations than they are now? There are no closer to reparations than they are now than they were 2 years ago. They have nothing is being put forth. So it doesn't matter who's in control right now because they don't have anyone to present anything. But obviously, he's going to agree with Roland saying, hey, look, we have to try. Yes, fine, you have to try. But how Tariq is going about it is totally disingenuous. This is a vanity project for him to see, I wonder how many people will come all the way down to D.C. just kiss my ass. And like I said, I sped up the video. He kept talking about, oh, people gave me all these gifts, gave me all these things, and da. Okay, what did you give them? You gave them a live Twitter space meet and greet. That's all he gave. He didn't give y'all anything. He didn't give y'all anything closer to put you to reparations. You guys even discuss reparations as far as like what reparations should be, how much money we should get. What's the plan in order for us to get ready? Okay, we're here together. Okay, this is a plan, y'all. This is what we need to do, y'all. Nah, there was none of that. There was none of that.
Thing that we're missing here is the Roland Martin and him coming together. You know, all we got to do is come together and fight like every other group fought, and they got what they wanted, but we just can't seem to come together. And
the reason why Tariq, for y'all that don't know, when Tariq started this failed bitch ass Americoon or failed butt broken Americoon movement, right? Him and Roland Martin was at odds, and Roland never said anything about Tariq Nasheed. From my recollection, Tariq Nasheed started talking about Roland Martin when he's his very bad political commentary about politics. Because Tariq Nasheed is a shitty commentator on politics, and of course the xenophobia with Tariq Nasheed. Again, Tariq Nasheed is FBA. Tariq will make a rule and change it. He said Roland Martin is not FBA. Why is Roland Martin not FBA? Oh, because it's either his great or his great grandmother was Haitian. So if you're a Haitian, you're not FBA. And again, Tariq Nasheed draws the narrative that Africans and Caribbeans hate Black Americans. So the fact that Roland Martin, great grandmother, right, on his mother or his father's side, only one of his either his father or his mother's side, that means that he hates Black Americans, even though he's just as Black American as the other Black American. So what Tariq Nasheed is saying when he says that, the fact that his great grandmother was Haitian, she, for some reason, this is what he's saying, that, oh, even though my husband or wife is American, right? Oh, you're supposed to hate Black Americans. Then they had his grandmother, and his grandmother said, okay, I'm gonna marry American, but my mother said I should hate Black Americans even though I'm marrying American. And then his mother had him, right, with another Black American, say, oh, you should hate Black Americans. Then they had him and say, okay, your great grandma said we should hate Black Americans, even though I'm Black American, your father's Black American, your grandmother's Black American, your grandfather's Black American. We should hate Black American. That doesn't make any sense. But that's why FBA people are morons. They're idiots. I'm surprised if most of them aren't Republicans or Trump supporters, because that makes no sense. You're saying that because his great grandmother is a Black American, they instilled within the generation of Black Americans that they need to hate their own people. It makes no sense, and that's why they can't come together. That's the backstory to their history of why they can't come together.
And that's what every aspect of what we fight for.
Absolutely, man. And I definitely want to make sure we dive into that because that's something that I feel near and dear to my heart as well. But Byron, let me bring you in again. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation. But I'm interested in your thoughts as well. What's your reaction to? Do you agree with Roland's stance that voting is more important or should take lead over rallying for reparations?
I'm with Capone. I think both should be done. I think I'm more like what Dr. Claude Anderson said, when you hit them financially. You buy politicians, you know what I mean? You lease them. And that way you got somebody on the inside to get it done. I'm always about that. That's how I get things done myself. It's almost like taking a gangster approach. Yeah. But it takes generations to do it.
Right.
But you got to hit them from every angle. And you got to be done silently. So if I had to choose, I would, you know, it's hard to choose one. I think we got to hit them with everything. That's
We make it possible to.
Sorry about that. Can't help the commercials.
the only way we're going to get it done, because they have their own agenda, Democrats and Republicans, and I think that on the sneak tip, they both work together.
All right. Well, let's dive a little bit into what Tariq believes, because there's differences in people's opinions of what reparations should look like. Tariq believes that the reparations should be for foundational Black Americans, which are descendants of slavery. So here I'll come to.
Again, that when you talk about FBA, it's not rooted in any factual actual history. So real quick, so if during the transatlantic slave trade, right, you had Europeans, like, what you ever heard the saying same ship different trip? So that same ship different trip is basically they'll take Africans that was already in the Americas, send them to the Caribbean, and they'll have some Caribbean Africans and they'll send them to America, right? So Caribbeans were also descendants of slaves. We came off most likely the same ships that dropped off the Americans. Sometimes they'll go into the Caribbean, drop them off, then go to the Americans, or vice versa. It's just it depends whatever need they may have if they're picking up goods or dropping off so-called African slaves, right? So already that's convoluted and lacks a lot of historical context, because it makes you think that only Black Americans were slaves and the Black people that were in the Caribbean were just there, which is stupid. Also, you have, like, there's a narrative that she likes to say when he's talking to Black people that are not Black Americans, saying, "Oh, you fled, you ran, you ran. We still here fighting white supremacy and all this other stupid shit." Okay, Black Americans have fled many a times. It's called the Great Migration, right? After the end of the Civil War and all the way up to like the 60s, Black Americans have fled. But even during slavery, you had Harriet Tubman. She took Black people to the north to help them run with the Underground Railroads. Black Americans even went as far as Canada. They went to a whole new other country. So you got populations of Black Americans in Canada right now. You also have Black Americans. They also fled to, oh man, I forgot what country that is. A group of them fled to, I forgot what country in the Caribbean it was. And it was a lot of them, a couple of hundred to 1,000 of them fled there. But they're Black American, but they're changed geographically. So Tariq Nasheed is Marcus Sanders is too stupid to give a clear definition, historical definition of what a FBA is. So I'm giving you that context, so when they answer it, you will understand, or those who don't know what FBA means, that's what it means.
Do you agree with Tariq saying that foundational Black Americans should get reparations instead of all Black people here?
At the end of the day, we need reparations. I mean, it's not balanced. America's not balanced for especially for the Black man and Black woman. So yes, I think we should get it. Don't know how to go about it. I mean, if rallying gets people to hear more about it, because people said, like Paul said, I agree. It hasn't been done before. I don't know, have we been rallying hard enough? Times change. Now we have different power. Each generation makes it more powerful. Maybe this might be the generation that makes it more powerful. We have social media. Back 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have social media. When there was a little riot and rally going on, no one really heard about it if no publication side, BT or somebody that covered it. Now the world can see it. So this might be the right time, to make some noise to give reparation. I still think, like you said, we both should work all together. I don't have a problem with Tariq and his thing. Roland, what he said, we should vote. We should go ahead and vote. Now, if you don't think you're not going to vote, you think reparations is going to happen while you're not going to vote. I don't see that happening like that. So we should work together. As you said, we should work together on this thing. And everybody said, I don't have a problem with being from African descent to get reparations. But I want what reparations looks like.
Now I'm going to push back a little bit on there. Like, if Africa have, Caribbeans, they have their own, committee for reparations and stuff like that. I believe if Caribbeans were to get reparations, I think the Black Americans need to be taken care of first. So let's say I'm going to just pull a number out. Let's say each Black person gets $1.5 million, right? That's your claim. You get $1.5 million, right? After that claim is done and that's set in stone, I think Caribbean people should probably get like 500,000, right? Because again, this is why FBA is not historical, because you have Caribbean people that's been here since the late 1800s, since the early 1900s. That's been here. You had Caribbean people that was there before the civil rights era, and it was there during the civil rights era. So you have your Marcus Garveys, you have your that's way back in the 1900s. You have your Stokely Carmichaels, right? You have your Malcolm X's, you have your Shirley Chisholms, you have all these Black Caribbean people and some African people that was here that was here before the civil rights. They are also the foundation of the civil rights movement. So you have people like Lord Jamal, which is a part of the rap group Brand Nubian. He found out his great grandmother was from my country, from Guyana. And he said he didn't know until he started doing his his ancestry or his DNA. So he said he came here in New York from Ellis Island, whatever, that whole story, whatever. I mean, I don't know if he came from Ellis Island, but he discovered that, right? So I think that's how it should be disseminated, if it's in a form of cash, which I don't agree. But I feel that, yes, we should have a seat at the table. Africans, that's a different story. I think Africans first started coming here, I guess, probably around in the 60s. And then later on in the 70s, then you have more Africans coming here. So Africans, I don't feel not so much. If they do, it will be a small fraction. But hey, that's a different conversation.
Let me bring you in and ask you that same question. What are your thoughts? When it comes to reparations, Tariq says, hey, you have to be a foundational Black American in order to receive that reparation, and not just, Black. There's no one that's a descendant of a slave, then you do not receive reparations. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with that stance?
No, I don't. That's going to be hard to decipher who gets what. And that's been the problem for long.
Mind you, little sidebar here. That means, again, the rules for what Tariq Nasheed always changes. First, again, I use the whole Roland Martin thing. Oh, he ain't no FBA. He Haitian because his great grandmother is Haitian. Then it's like, oh, one of your parents' FBA is okay. So again, Tariq Nasheed picked his wife is a mulatto. She's mulatto. She's half white. She got a white mother, right? I showed y'all, if y'all watched my channel before, I showed you where he said in his Mac lessons or whatever that you don't get no Black woman, no 100% Black woman. You get a mixed mulatto woman with a white mother, because then she'll act better or right or some bullshit like that. So that's what he got. He got a mulatto wife, right, with a whole white mother-in-law that lives with him. He got a whole white family. I showed y'all pictures. He be at Chuck E. Cheese with his white mother-in-law. He be going to his having Christmas with his white family. He invites them to the cookouts. Tariq Nasheed does all of that stuff, but he's supposed to be pro-Black, right? So his kids, his mulatto kids, looking mulatto kids are going to get reparations. So when it comes to his kids, yeah, he's going to say, hey, I'm FBA, so my kid's going to get something. But if that's the case, you got the people that don't pass for black, they kind of pass for white, or they claim to be white. Guess what? They're going to get reparations too. Right, so you got all these Negroes that swirl and all this other stuff. They will have like Quincy Jones's kids. They're like nearly white. You got a lot of black people that just sleep with just white women and white men, and their kids come out looking white. You wouldn't know they were white. They're going to get reparations too. So it's very, very dangerous to say, well, if you're a slave, okay. There's a lot of white-looking people that could prove that, yeah, my grandfather was a slave. They get reparations too.
Longest. Everybody who got reparation, they got land, they got casinos, they especially took care of the Indians. And, it's a great thing to see how all...
No, and again, like, not the Indians get reparations. At one of job I had a couple of years back, I know Native Americans. I speak with Native Americans. One of this guy in my job, he was Native Americans, and not all Native Americans get reparations. 1, 2, the reparations that some Native Americans, the ones that do get it, you got the ones that don't get it, are still fighting for it. You got the ones that do get it. Some of them get like next to nothing, because Native Americans are one of the most poorest people in America. It depends on what particular tribe you're talking about, but a lot of them aren't that well off. And you got some that are very well off, according to my friend, depending what tribe they're from. They don't even have to work. Some of them don't even work at all because they're just good with the money they get from the government. Sometimes some people get a check weekly. Some people get a check bi-weekly. Like, it's just so many factors involved as far as like the amount of money. So the ones that Native Americans see with the casinos and stuff like that, yeah, that's the exception to the rule. Not every Native American or every Native American tribe has a freaking casino. But again, just giving you guys context of what he's saying.
And as the Indians are separating themselves, even in America. And they just won't give us that same type of opportunity, because, and I'm not ashamed to say this, we're the most powerful beings on this planet. And they know it. And they keep doing things to separate us. Y'all see what's going on in the news right now. And as all of these guys that's been interviewed, even for the Pary thing, no white person has been asked this question, how they feel about it. Those same people that's on the panel with Shaq and Charles, Ernie Johnson, why they didn't ask him? Because they know what they're doing, and they're going to keep doing it to us until we come together. That is a form of separation right there. And regardless of what.
I don't understand what you mean they keep doing it to us. Like, who made Kyrie Irving put that link to that nigger brews before Negroes or whatever? The white man made him do it, or did he do it? He did it. And after him doing that, he kept like, hey man, the people guys said, what's that about? They kept asking him for what is it about. He kept ignoring them. So that just seems like, hey, I said what I said. So they're like, okay, we see you. You said what you said. Okay. And then until when the hammer came down on him, now he wants to start, well, okay, what I meant was to say was that, like, it's too late. What are you talking about? You're dealing with people that have racial pride. Dealing with people that have racial pride. Any group of people that have racial pride, any slight against them, they're going to nip it in the bud. It's like, yo, what do you mean by that? What the hell does that mean? And you are now on the Summer Jam screen as far as like, okay, I got an answer for this. So if you said what you said, then okay, you said what you said. You got to take the repercussions, right? So anyway.
Kyrie's beliefs are, those are his beliefs. Should he be punished for what he believed in? And Amazon not be punished for putting it out there?
Now, he made a good point. Is one thing. Look, there's a bunch of nigger brews, Hebrews out over here that around here that I know. No, they're not being chastised for believing that they are Hebrews. It's the anti-Semitic things that was being said that got him in trouble. He didn't put a post out saying, "Hey, I'm a Hebrew, and I believe I'm the true Hebrews." Okay, that's your belief. That's the belief system. Religion is made up of a belief system. That's not what he's getting punished for. That's not what he's getting chastised for. He's getting chastised because they had a lot of anti-Semitic tropes along with that link of that video. Now he is right. Why is Kyrie getting in trouble and not Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos owns Amazon. He should also get in trouble. His company is publicizing that. So if he's like, hey, look, he didn't get it like on his own. It's like Kyrie Irving didn't get it on his own. And like, let's say it's like a book, like a banned book or something a book that's full of anti-Semitic stuff. Oh, what about this book? No, he's like, hey, here's a link from Amazon that has it. So if it's so horrible, why don't you go after Jeff Bezos and Amazon? No, you're gonna go after Kyrie Irving. So he does have a point there.
So you know, it's the thing where they use these tactics and they've been using these tactics to keep us separated. And as long as they keep us separated, this is just another form of tactic of separation where Americans can get in and non-black people from America. We all deserve something.
Absolutely, no, I couldn't agree with you more. Let me bring in Byron and get your thoughts on that.
Black only. You know what I mean? If your great grandma didn't have a breastfeed a young white child, then this ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? This reparation is to even help us catch up with the Africans. You know?
You hear that? You hear what he said? He said this reparations will help us keep up with the Africans. So he seems to be aware of how well Africa is doing. He's basically saying that Africa is doing way better than Black Americans. Way better than Black Americans, right? So Nigeria, like don't get me wrong, America, obviously America has lots of millionaires, right? But so does Africa. But Americans have our millionaires pretty much made their money in America, in corporate America, investing and stuff like that, right? Or however they make their money, basically on American soil. World versus Africa, you have actual people that's building money based upon in Africa, right? In Africa. So they have natural resources there. You know, they have car companies there. They have everything that you would see like, oh, a regular white millionaire would have. That's okay. You know, they have all that. They have all that in Africa. So shipping companies, grocery store, just everything runs the gambit because Africa, they have their own economy. They have their own GDP, you know. So I like what he said right there because he's in touch with reality because he said it was help us catch up with the Africans. We need reparations, so we at least catch up with the Africans.
Different household. I got African friends. They got different mentality. They got a different household. Why? Because they ain't got the trauma we got. We up.
Now that's where I'm going to push back home again. So, and see, like someone like that, I could talk to, right? So, again, he said that they don't have the Africans don't have the trauma that they do, that we do. I was like, yes and no. I mean, colonization is not chattel slavery, but they went through some horrific things. Like, I mean, you can look at the Congo. You can look at Nigeria during colonialism. Let's look at West Africa during colonial period of time. We are West Africans. So it's not like they just went to Africa, got some black people, stole black people, sent them to America, and they left Africa alone. Nah, they was like, okay, we could actually control black people on both sides of the pond. We could take the black people from here. I mean, all these wars, you know, you got the Woman King, you know, which is something that actually happened. You have Shaka Zulu, you have Queen Nzinga, you have all these African battles that Africans were fighting Europeans to the bitter end, right? So Africans are just as traumatized as Black Americans. It may look different, but it's the same thing. But yes, black people in this hemisphere, including the Caribbeans, are messed up because again, we have the same oppressor. We have the exact same oppressor.
You know what I mean? So that's what makes us a dope ass people because of the traumatic experience that we survived. Now y'all can come and join us, my Haitian brothers, my African brothers, my Jamaican brothers, after we get this money.
Okay, another thing that he's a bit ignorant on, and I said this already. Caribbean people have been here before civil rights. And Caribbean people were also a part of civil rights. So I don't understand. Black Americans didn't build, for a lack of a better word, black, whatever you consider Black American, Black Americans didn't build this civil rights and all the things that we have by themselves. That's not true. I spoke about that on my other video. I think it was I believe it was our do yeah, I think it was along the lines of the title was do FBA owe Black Americans gratitude for civil rights and stuff like that? And the answer was pretty much no. When you do a deep dive into Black history in the 60s, right, or even before civil rights, there were there were Caribbean people here already. There were Jamaicans here already. There were Guyanese people here already. There were Trinidadians here already. So they have to do a little bit more deep diving into Black history.
I love it. I love it.
But you know what's funny? And this is a serious situation here. What is reparations? You don't understand? If they told us we all get blinded, people, black people themselves would be arguing about that ain't enough, that ain't right. I don't want that shit. All that. I don't want $200,000 and 40 acres. I don't want this. So how would we even come? What is even how would we even come together? If they gave us something, people would reject it. Most people reject the offer. I want this amount. I want 40 million. So what is it? How we make it happen?
I think our best thing, to me personally, if we scrap the reparations, forget asking people for something or waiting on somebody to give us something, and then we hustle. We do it the old school way. When we hustle to get it ourselves, and that way we put ourselves in power to help each other.
We tried that with Black Wall Street, and you see what they did to us. We didn't ask them for nothing. We built our own communities, had our own banks. We did all of this on our own, and somehow they bombed it. They did it in Philadelphia. The same.
They did it a few times.
Because when we came together and we come together, they fear that. They know what the truth is. It's just that we know, and we are ashamed to even go forward with the truth by coming together. That's all we need to do is come together. And we can't seem to do this. They keep putting the game in there where they get why is people who play basketball the spokesman for us? Why is that the situation? Why is people who play football the spokesman for us? That's not us. If we have beliefs in something and we move forward regardless of what, why we don't have our own black league? Why every single thing we do has to be connected to them to make them more money? This is just modernized slavery to this day. You just give people money now. You don't get money back from slavery. You get money now and you keep them separated.
I'm going to show you a sneaky yet ethical way to.
Sorry about that. Can't help the commercials.
Was what Jim Crow said, and that's how it's been.
Agreed. And that's why I think we should move quietly and silently, because nobody ever protected our black leaders. And now you want like an entertainer, like you said, a sports person, to play, run, and do all that, and also lead a community. And that's not fair to those people.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of leaders, one thing that I find, a little frustrating about this is just seeing us, and as both, all of you have mentioned, just go head in hand when we have two different men that are in their respective fields, leaders of some sort, where they have a big following. Because Tariq, of course, did respond to Roland, and one of his followers would post a picture of Roland crying, and we're going to pull it up on the screen. And it says, Roland looking at the crowd like #rally for reparations, and Tariq Nasheed would laugh at it. Now, of course, these gentlemen are going going back and forth, but it kind of leads to the question, why is there so much division when it comes to issues like this? As mentioned, two things can be very, and I think Yamanika says it best, two things can be true at the very same time. There can be two things, two different things, two different issues that we're handling in two different ways as long as we're connected. So, Capone, I'll actually come back to you on this one. Why do you think we're seeing that division in our leadership, whether it's, people that are put in these positions not by us, but those people that have a following, Tariq Nasheed and Roland Martin have a following? Why are we seeing that division in Black leadership, and what's the solution to move forward so that we can come together? Come on, I'll start with.
Again, and I said this already, I'll answer that question. Tariq Nasheed, number one, is the leader, but he doesn't want to be the leader because he doesn't want to have the burden of leadership. He wants to be the leader without the responsibility of leadership while gaining more followers so he can get more money from his followers so he could sell merchandise, Ogun pepper spray and Karen chains and have more people so he can raise to do his films, and that's all he is about. So he is not a leader. Roland Martin, again, is also not a leader. Roland Martin is just a political commentator. So I don't know what you mean by Roland Martin being a leader. Roland Martin is a political commentator, and at least he's more genuine when it comes to political discourse. The thing I don't like about Roland Martin is, like, when it comes time to take it to a real political figure like Hillary Clinton, remember, it's like, oh, black this, black that, and black people need that, black that, and we need this, black. You get in front of Hillary Clinton, he starts doing the jig. Like, I wish I had that. Damn. I wish I had. He started doing the jig, shucking and jiving, like literally start dancing, electric sliding, and like what? Like what? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So none of these guys are leaders at all. But at least Roland Martin is at least a bit, in this instance, in this case, more honest about what you need to do to accomplish reparations.
Well, coming together is the solution. Divide and conquer is something that we've been taught. Jealousy is a very, very, very bad sickness. And so many people get it and they don't know what they got. For Roland Martin, who's a very good friend of mine, but I can't agree on you hating or even making the comments that you make about a black man trying. Not to say that he's successful at it, but he's trying.
Tariq Nasheed is not trying to do anything. You are falling for the illusion of him trying. Like, Capone needs to really study Tariq Nasheed and what he is. I don't think he knows him at all. What is he trying? What did he do that you see as trying besides having a whole bunch of people come to Washington Square to kiss his ass? What did he do that put black people closer to reparations? Like, he's seeing this all wrong.
Back him up. Back him up. What can I do in my voice to help you to make this thing come true? Not, you'll never get nothing. Come on, that's just like your aunt and your aunt's father saying you'll never be shit. And then you turn out to be something. All you got to do is come together, stick together, try. But the separation shit is always something that keeps us from moving forward.
No, I agree. Byron, let me bring you in and ask you that same question. Why are we seeing so much division in our black leadership, and what is the solution to move forward?
It's old tribal stuff, right? Just like how they break Atlanta up. But it's just one thing. We should move as a unit. We need one common goal. Like I said, as a spiritual nigga, we still healing from our traumatic past. It's hard for us to even have a united household. It's hard for us to have a united Thanksgiving. So I think once we start to heal and start to rebuild like good family structures and start with the simple stuff, then it will spill out into the bigger picture. It's hard for two niggas to root for the same football team sometimes. So I think it's a smaller problem, but it's so much of a bigger individual problem. also. So, but I do think it's come with having one goal, accepting everybody for their flaws, but be willing to die. When the last time people died for what they believe in? People used to die for freedom. People used to die for civil rights. But ain't nobody dying for shit except trying to, go hang out at Shirley House on Friday. Them the risks we take now, you know what I mean? Fentanyl and shit like that. So I think we need to get common goal and we fight for it from every angle.
Absolutely.
And be willing to die for that shit. Y'all niggas die for tennis shoes.
You speaking true. Hey, I can't imagine their Pierre, let me bring you in and close us out. What is it? Why are we seeing this division in Black leadership? And what is the solution? We're big on solutions here. What is the solution to move forward? Pierre.
Well, to my man Byron, the reason niggas ain't dying for shit like they used to, because back in the days there wasn't shit left for. A lot of niggas had no big future, nothing right, come home, go to eat, go out in the fields, come to fuck home. I died for that shit too, So now people see the good life on social media. They can be in Paris, they can be niggas in Paris, driving Bentleys, eating lobsters and steaks. I ain't dying, we fuck one die, and I get that shit, okay? This ain't 1822, I died for shit in 1822, get the fuck out of life. Or the 40s, the 50s, the 1940s. All right, now get back to the question. First of all, you gotta ask them two men. Because at the end of the day, niggas will be niggas. Both of them act like niggas, okay? And I'm gonna say it because yes, Roland should have said what he said about the brother. He shouldn't have said that. And the brother should have came back and said what he said. It's back into the fishbowl of niggas being niggas on social media.
Like I said, Tariq Nasheed started the attack against Roland Martin with his crappy political commentary. So Tariq Nasheed drew first blood. He knew Tariq Nasheed is not he's not genuine at all. Roland Martin don't steal from the Black community, right? And open up a bike shop. He didn't do that. He don't preach and about like, hey, Black women ain't nothing. You go find you some blackish looking woman. Roland Martin doesn't do that. Tariq Nasheed does all that. You got a guy that's a political commentator, a guy that's a scam artist, and anti-Black. Like, no.
Look at the comments. People cannot wait to put something negative in the comment. I hate you. We don't even get together as people. So that's not even right about them two. Why they arguing and barking at each other? We bark at each other in the comments. Guarantee you, I'm in the comments, you see people barking at me. I hate you. So what are you talking about? We can't come together. We can't say, you know what, I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. Hey, I don't agree with it, but I'm respecting your thing. I'm going to do my thing. Hopefully we find common ground and come together. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make it right for all of us being Black folks. So as soon as somebody says I got some different way to go, it's you nigga, clown ass nigga, you punk ass nigga, yo ass nigga. That's back to Jim Crow, like Capone was just saying. We're mentally screwed up. We just got to hate on each other. If it ain't my way, I don't like your way. And I'm gonna let you know I don't like your way. And that's the sad thing about it. Just let that man Tariq do his thing with the rally. Hopefully it works out. And Roland, you get the vote out.
How is it working out? How is that going to work out? This is a question I want to know. It's not going to work out. Like, voting is more instantaneous, more impactful than what Tariq Nakoon got going on.
To come out to vote, get voters and all that. We can both do both things at the same time. We can both do things at the same time. We're going to hate each other for doing this shit differently.
All right, I'm just going to pretty much let that be it. And I'm about to close this out, but I think the rally is a whole thing for him to distract us from the Inky Dinky Museum. Like, he doesn't even have artifacts. It's gonna be an art museum. It's not supposed to be an art museum. He's talking about having a bus, having paintings. No, that's an art museum. You're supposed to have a real museum. He doesn't have no artifacts. He got nothing to fill it in. Doesn't matter anyway. You only have like 15 people in there at the same time before they break a fire code. It's like, oh, you got 30 people in here. Oh no, you're breaking in California fire code. This small space, only 15 people, max limit. Like, it's a joke. So I think he had to do this in order for people not to pay attention to him scamming people out of almost $2 million to open up a little Ricky Dinky fruit stand / barbershop. Like what? Like it doesn't make no sense. Like you guys haven't seen it. I'm gonna share it real quick, and then we're gonna close out because we're gonna show you how small that space is. It's like what? And believe it or not, you have people like defending it, like, oh, he got something. Oh, you just hate. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean just hating? That's nothing. He got a barbershop. Like, what are you talking about? Let's look at this.
So we are at the museum spot that we just purchased out here in Los Angeles. Beautiful space, man. Beautiful.
Look at that. It's like you got a bathroom back there. Like, you already see the back. How is this a museum? You got some chairs, some office chairs. You got a blind over here, like I guess like a divider, right? But you're gonna see why. You like what? Okay, let it play.
Beautiful space. This is the museum space. We're gonna put a lot of good stuff in here.
What you put 3 tables and a flat screen TV, and you can't put nothing else in there. Like, well, what are you talking about? Like what? I know barbershop's bigger than this. Like, are you serious? This is ridiculous. And already you see the back. Like what? You got people that got like what? You got an office over here, then you got look like some audio equipment over there, so people come like what, band practice or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Someone gonna do their demo tape over here on the other side. Like, what's going on?
Some of the stuff that you see is not going to be in here, but
I would think so, because then you only hang up one wall and put like a chair and a table in there. So you're gonna need to get that out to put all the other 6 things you can only fit in there. So yeah, that would make sense.
We just got the place, and then we officially own this building here.
You don't own that building. I wish I had a shot of the building where it's just like a plaza. You see, like you have like a plaza or like a strip mall, and all the building looks the same, and each space is rented out, and you could tell. You see the door there. That's probably the door he came through. That's the door there that got the office chairs. This side is probably some type of recording studios / you know, I don't know, probably they were renting out for church or something like that. I don't know, but you see like audio equipment over there, right? So obviously these people renting this space, renting that space. So he's like, you know what? I'll just rent both spaces. He didn't buy it. I'll just rent both spaces, right?
Here in Los Angeles, on Jefferson, man, great.
See, right there. And if you count, it's literally like I counted like 15 feet from the front to the back.
Space. Nice outside. We're gonna have some stuff going on outside. Here in the back.
Look at the white lady is like, she's just laughing like, yo, this nigga lying. Like, you didn't buy nothing, you renting. He probably threw her like $200-300, like, yo, you chill in the back, right? Nah, that's all right. I don't care for all this stuff is here. I'm gonna say, yo, I bought it, right? And I'll just give me like 3 minutes. I'm gonna say I bought it, right? And say that I read this, that I bought the space or whatever, and we good, right? Yo, hold this. Yo, just hold this $200 down. Let me just let me know. She's probably working in the office, like, all right, cool. Or maybe it's one of his wife's family members. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, Sherry, you want to come down with me and check the place out with me? I don't know. It's probably one of his wife's family members, but she's just laughing her ass off like, this nigga lying.
So we got some stuff in the back, and we're gonna have some outdoor events and all that stuff happening. So this is,
yo, the back look bigger than the inside. The back look bigger than the inside. So if you having events and stuff out here, I know sunny California, but I know it rains in California. You know what I'm saying? I know Raphael Sadiq says it doesn't rain in Southern California, but I know it rains. You know, but like this is sad. 2 million. 2 million, y'all. And counting. 2 million.
It's gonna be real fly. So y'all stay tuned. All right, so we are at the
So we gotta run this back again. So you can see the neighborhood, whatever, is not some huge big building. It's pretty much that storefront type neighborhood. It ain't like a big building. And you can tell y'all been to strip malls and plazas and stuff like that. So let's run this one more time. Let's run it one more again.
museum spot that we just purchased out in Los Angeles. Beautiful space, man.
See all the chairs. That's like the bathroom, or where they cook the crack back there. I don't know. It could be a kitchen, a bathroom. I don't know.
Beautiful space. This is the museum space. We put a lot of stuff here.
So that's where he's walking to. Right? So you guys can count.
Some of the stuff that you see is not going to be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. See? He's at the back already. He's like out already. That ramp takes up like 4 or 5 feet. The ramp takes up like half of the space.
You're in the back.
Laugh her ass.
So we got stuff in the back that we're gonna have some outdoor events and all that stuff happening. So this is gonna be real fly. So
yeah, this is crazy, y'all. That's sad. Like, and come on, man. I'll be ashamed to call myself a FBA. I'm a FBA. Okay, all right. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna call it a wrap. It is late here on the east side, so thank you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Black Moon, thank you for looking out, making sure my broadcast and everything is cool. Yeah, just thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and again, share your comments, see if I was on point, see if I was off. But I think this whole reparations rally was just basically a whole big distraction so people could focus away from the little fruit stand that he got going on over there that he's calling the Hidden History Museum. So until next time, y'all, peace.